Okay, so welcome to the Neuroalert 1020 system training in virtual reality. The user starts their experience in a hospital setting and learns basic virtual reality controls. The first control that they learn is how to use a teleportation function to move around different rooms that they will travel throughout their experience. To start, they aim the controller and they click on a circle pad in order to move the character. When they reach the end of this room, they click Next to continue. In rooms like this, the user is provided hands in order to play through the experience. These hands can interact with objects that are given to the user in order to complete certain objectives. These objects in this room are test objects and have different properties. This is a very high quality object with a very high resolution material, and it has similar properties to a real object, such as gravity and hardness. The remote here can turn on the TV. The tennis ball here has physics properties and can bounce.
Well, I use neuromonitoring for
Virtual reality can be used for a lot of different
cases,
objects. After getting through the tutorial mode, the user has the option to replay it in the settings menu. The settings menu namely lets the user choose between learning mode and practice mode. Learning mode offers them 4 chapters on learning the 1020 system of electrode measurement and placement. Practice mode allows the user to apply what they learned in learning mode using a simulation. Let's go through learning mode real quick. Starting with chapter 1. The user is given descriptive text in order to teach the basic keywords and topics about the 1020 system. After reading, the user is prompted to click on the 4 major marking buttons. Upon click, the user can teleport and watch in close detail how the buttons work. Each button is associated with an animation that clearly shows where the major marking points are. Using the controller, the user can turn and face where they please, in case there's any mobility issues. In this room, users can see the major planes that they measure when seeing to place electrodes along the head. There's the Z plane and the C plane. Once again, users are provided buttons in order to see the different animations. In a room like this, users can use the replay button to quickly stop an animation and re-see it. This room shows step-by-step each electrode placement with descriptive text on how to apply it to the head. It uses the measurements that you made in previous rooms and the techniques that you learned there in order to demonstrate the application here. The final room of learning mode shows the intraoperative dynamics that a clinician goes through as they are applying the 1020 system. They see what a simulated operating room looks like, and they get a feel for how much space they really do have during an operation. In the simulation training mode, users are prompted first with markers to see if they remember how to start the 4 major locations. After the Nazian, they apply the right preauricular point, and then place the Inian. And then finally, place the left preauricular point. Users will have to move around a real room in order to navigate the virtual reality space. The second practice mode room is slightly more complex. This is a simulation of electrode placement. First, they start with the CZ electrode and learn how to use the little marker hints to place the electrodes as appropriately. These electrode placements follow the content as discussed in learning mode. So there you go. If the user does eventually drop an electrode accidentally, if they're not used to the controls, they can use the handy reset button to automatically reset the scene and have the electrodes provided. So there you have it. That's the 1020 system training for Neuroalert by JMU X Labs done in virtual reality. Thank you.